Hey guys, this is a little tutorial I'm making on sidechaining, and I'm doing it with a project I started of remixing Virtual Riot's song We're Not Alone. So I have a vocal track, I have a piano, and a sub bass, and this is the drums. I think I already have this set up. I'll just go ahead and delete this so I can show you exactly what I do. So the first thing is I make a mixer insert, and I always put 4 EQs on it and a compressor that is just there to act as a limiter. So yeah, there's 4 parametric EQs here, and I'll show you what that's for in just a little bit. So the first thing I do is I clone the kick twice. The kick sounds like this. It's just the default kick with some pogo. It always makes the kick tighter, so I like to do that. And the snare is this one I made myself. So yeah, I always rename these. I like keeping things pretty neat. So yeah, LE stands for low end, and HE stands for high end. Yeah. So next, there's these lights to the right of each sound you have there, and you can activate them by clicking on them, and you can select more by right-clicking them. So I have 2 selected currently, and yeah, so these are already here from when I had done it previously, but I'm just going to do it again just for the tutorial. So I have these 2 here, and so LE is going to follow the kick, and HE follows the snare.
So keep your head high, looking at the night.
That was wrong. This is right. Yeah. I have a little shorter version of this snare. But yeah, so next, let's go back to those sidechain, and I'm just going to get rid of these because they might confuse you. So I put a peak controller, Fruity Peak controller. It's right here for me. I mean, other people may have different plugins. Like I have several third-party plugins. So yeah. Then I right-click on bass. It says bass under peak, and I right-click it, and at the bottom you can type in a value. So I put 50 because it's right in the middle, and I do the same on HE. And also there's these volume and tension. Just turn these up to whatever seems fit. I think it's necessary to turn it up on this based on how kind of quiet the kick is. But yeah, so let's go to our sidechain insert, and what I do is, so I have all of my synths and vocals and everything, like here, all assigned to a different mixer track. So I have pads here. By default, it's linked to the master via these little arrows near the bottom. And to unlink it from the master, you click this, so now you can see it's not highlighted there, and go directly under sidechain, and it's linked there now. So you can see, let me go to, so this is the pads they have. You can see that the audio is going from here to here. And if I go back to the pads and put it back to the master, you'll see that it's going to the master instead and not going through sidechain. So there's that. I don't think I even have the pads in the song anymore, but whatever. I know the sub bass is. Yeah, it's all linked. The pluck I'm not even using, but yeah, so sorry if you could hear my siblings, but yeah. I say yeah a lot. Whatever. So we have the sidechain following the corresponding thing it goes to. And yeah, so we have our EQs. Let's just open them all and move these. So they're not default, so I'm just going to replace them all so that they're all default. You can see exactly what I do. I rename them all to the correct one they're going to. I mean, you don't have to do it the same way I do. I'm going to keep working on this project after this tutorial, so that's why I'm doing it all neat and stuff. I hate when that happens too. So let's open LE sidechain 1, and yes, so I take these frequency knobs and move them all over so it's more low end than it's affecting the low end a lot more than the high end now, and turn up the bandwidth so like it's a lot wider, as opposed to if the bandwidth were low it would only affect a little bit. So there, it's all the way up. This is, so next there's these you can move, and I right click it and I click link to controller, and it brings this thing up, and what you do is you click internal controller, or you need to select what controller you want to use. So you want to use the low end sidechain, and you need to make sure you click pick plus LFO. And the mapping formula, oh okay, one more thing. Make sure at the top that this is not highlighted. If it is, then it won't work. So if you do it once, it will always be like that. But yeah, make sure you do that. That's important. For the mapping formula, make it inverted, and do that with the purple, violet, orange, and yellow frequency band. And I'll just do that, and I'll show you what it does. So there, it's done purple through yellow, and this is what it looks like with the bandwidth turned up. What? There we go. So do that again, like pretty much the exact same thing with LE sidechain 2. So I'm just going to do that. Exactly the same as I did before, pretty much. Yeah, so just watch this EQ. So you can see it's staying down a little bit too long for the length of the kick. So what you want to do is take this decay and turn it all the way down pretty much, and bring the tension down. Adjust the volume as seems fit to you. This is probably good for me. You can already hear that the kick is standing out a lot more. So let's do that with the snare, and I saw that it was a little bit much before, so let's go ahead and turn these down. Yeah, so to sidechain, this is high-end sidechain 1. I'm going to move the frequencies over so it's affecting the highs more than the lows now. I do something a little different with the high end though. Let's go ahead and do this. I always leave the bandwidth on the fourth one lower, and I'll show you why in a bit. So let's go ahead and link all these to high-end sidechain and invert it. And do the fourth one also. Actually, no, I don't think I will. I'll show you what I do differently with the high end now. I go to my snare and I look at the EQ I have for it. I usually boost the lows of it. Not that much, like about that much. So you see when you hover over it, the frequency is 154 hertz. So I'm going to go back to my sidechain and move this around till I see it says 154. 154. So get these out of the way. Just turn up the bandwidth so it doesn't like affect this part. So you link this to high-end sidechain also, invert it. You can see, there you go. And you can just scroll over these to change the bandwidth also. So copy exactly that in the next high-end sidechain. Look for 154. Move these over a bit. And link them all to the controllers, and I think that'll be it. I hope I didn't just link that to low end. Okay, good. I did it again. Alright. So there we go. It involves a lot of clicking, I know, but it sounds better that way, so here we go. It sounds like this now.
So keep your head high, looking at the night sky.
There's another thing I usually do when there's a couple loud components like the vocals and the sub bass. I put this EQ isn't doing anything right now. I left it on so that I could just link to the controller. There's this one knob on the far left that controls the whole thing. So I will link this to the low end because it's sub bass.
So keep your head high, looking at the night.
And this is also a default EQ. I will link to high end because it is a woman's voice and is mostly high end.
So keep your head high, looking at the night sky. And now we're not alone at all.
I don't sidechain pianos. It doesn't sound as good that way. But yeah, hopefully you got something from this video, and thank you for watching.